Welcome in, everyone, and hello to everyone on our YouTube live stream as well. I hope you've got some friends and family who are able to join us live today. We are so happy to see all these faces today, and I'm very excited about you getting sworn in today. So today is your graduation for Casa LA, and you'll be getting to meet your advocate supervisor in just a few, well, I guess in just under an hour. We have people from 3 different training groups today, and actually I've had the pleasure of meeting you all, some of you very briefly, but it's been very wonderful to be able to get to know you over the past few weeks. And yeah, it's exciting. We've got 34 people who will be providing advocacy for our children today. So happy and very appreciative of all of your dedication throughout this process. And yeah, we're super excited for you to get started. So how's it going to look today? We will shortly pass you over to our wonderful Judge Seidler, who will swear you in, and we'll do some short introductions. And then after that, we'll have some Casa staff who would like to congratulate you. And then at the end, you'll be meeting in those familiar breakout rooms that we've had a lot of practice with in our trainings. You'll be meeting your supervisors there, and that will be it. So before we move on, I just want to pass you over to Taina, who is just going to go over some tech things and congratulate you also.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to graduation. A lot of your faces I've seen because I co-facilitated Emily's class as well. Just wanted to say that it's been a pleasure working with you all, getting to know you all, and just learning as much as we can to advocate for these young people. And some tech, some housekeeping, some things to know is that there's a point that we will be swearing in just the graduates, just the Casas. And at this point, I'd like to ask all of you who are not graduating to turn off your videos as Judge Seidler is swearing everyone in. Not currently, feel free to leave it on, but as soon as Judge Seidler starts the swearing in process, you can turn it off. And then after the swearing in process, everybody else, the advocate supervisors, the staff, the leaders of Casa can turn it back on and join us again. If you need any tech support, if you're in need of any support at all, if you get dropped off of the call, which sometimes happens and we hope it doesn't, I've included my email and my phone number so that if you get dropped off completely, if it's easier for you to call, feel free to do so, and then you'll get access and you'll get put back into the class so that you don't miss any part of this amazing graduation. That's all I have for you all. Congratulations.
Thanks, Taina.
Pass it back to Emily.
Okay, so the moment of truth. We'll pass you over to Judge Seidler. So half of you have already met him, and the other half, this is going to be all new, and I hope that you can share some stories with our group, Judge Seidler.
And I remember that half of the class. They asked a lot of questions.
Oh, that's good.
Hi, everyone. Congratulations on getting this far. I just want to thank you for the commitment you're making. I know that hopefully you have some family and friends watching, and just to give them a sense, in Los Angeles, we have usually around 30,000 kids in the child welfare system, and judges in Los Angeles have about 2 to 3 times as many kids on each of our caseloads as any other judge in the state. The children's attorneys have twice of what they should have. The social workers are very overstaffed. So the CASA is that one person who is going to be involved in this child or siblings' lives whose only focus in terms of court cases and DCFS is that one child or one sibling group. So you might end up with a very complex case. You might end up dealing with education issues for a child. You might end up being the one who's helping to prepare them for their emancipation and to be independent. And it's a really great opportunity, especially when you have those 18 to 21-year-olds who are non-minor dependents and continue to have that support system in their lives, and that person who's making recommendations to the court of what these kids need. So first off, you went through your Casa training. I spoke to some of you really early on. Before we get started, any question that didn't get answered or observation or anything anyone wants to raise? Virtual hand or unmute. Look at that. The training is so good. You answered all of their questions.
Can you see the hands?
I can't.
Oh, okay. Corinne.
Hi. Hi, Judge Siegler. Thank you for this opportunity. I just had a quick question. How many children are in foster right now that are under the age of 5?
Oh, that's a really good question that I don't have an answer to off the top of my head. I would say that throughout the system, it's pretty even. It feels to me like it's pretty evenly dispersed between the 0 to 5, 5 to 12, 13, 13 to 18, 18 to 21. But I do not have the numbers on that. But there are a lot under the age of 5. And one thing is we get a lot of sibling groups run the whole age span. We have a lot of kids who come into the system as newborns who have been exposed to drugs and test positive at birth. So we do have a lot of 0 to 5-year-old kids.
Okay, thanks for your answer. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And the reason I wasn't seeing the hands was because I was on the second screen. Any other questions? Oh, look at that. Megan had the answer, 31% as of July 2021. Well, I broke it into about 4 age groups, so I was close. So since I have you and your family here to hear about our court system and the work of our Casas, and some Casas stay in kids' lives forever. Casa of Los Angeles had a fundraiser about 3-4 years ago of a play that was done in Portland about a judge in Portland, Oregon, who grew up in the foster care system in LA, had a Casa in Los Angeles, and still has her Casa involved in her life now in her, however old she is as a judge in Oregon. And a big part of that play about her life included her Casa as a character. So, and I remember one of the shelter care staff, the staff who supervised the kids who were brought into court for the day from foster homes, commenting that she remembered that first day that judge came into the system as a child and was being hooked and connected to a Casa. A couple of cases of mine that have really shown the impact of a Casa. I had a child on my caseload. His name at the time was Dodger, and he was severely physically abused. Was in the hospital. It wasn't clear if he'd ever be able to walk again, had very poor upper arm mobility. The first Casa was on the case for a few months, and then a second Casa took over. And Jan Miller, the second Casa, participated in all of the medical meetings regarding Dodger, got very involved in all of those things. At some point, a potential adoptive mother was identified out of state in Illinois, and she started getting the potential adoptive mother on speakerphone on her cell phone so she could participate in all these medical meetings. Jan Miller, the Casa, was the one who was able to identify an assisted walking device, a gait trainer that Dodger was eligible for, did all the research to find out how to get it approved, and got that for him. At some point, the foster mother came out and met him, and eventually he moved to Illinois to her home. When we did the adoption in my chambers, we did it by FaceTime or Skype, and This was before pandemics and Zoom and WebEx, and we were also proficient. And Lynn Gabriel was there when we did the finalization of the adoption. In their house in Illinois were all Dodgers banners. It was Dodger Day in Illinois. And Jan maintained contact with Dodger. And when Dodger was about 11, Jan showed me a photo of Dodger with leg braces on, walking a Tommy Hilfiger runway in New York. And then when my husband and I were visiting Jan when she had cancer, she got Dodger on FaceTime, and Dodger was about to go to Florida to play in a sled hockey tournament, because he was able to play hockey where they attach the hockey stick to his glove and someone pushes the sled while he plays hockey. And he showed me 2 autographed jerseys from members of the US Paralympics hockey team that he had autographed. And this is a kid who, you know, if it weren't for this one person who was there identifying the needs, speaking with the medical professionals, I don't think we would have a young man today who's probably about 16 years old now, who realizes that he can do whatever he wants in life and there are no barriers for him. Another case I had, as long as I'm talking about Kate, and that case I talk about because there have been articles written about him. Another case I had was a 9-year-old boy who was in and out of group homes. He had anger issues, mildly autistic, and the Casa who was assigned for him, she had only had daughters. She didn't know anything about little boys. She was going to go visit this boy in a group home, and you're going to learn very quickly that 9 years old in a group home is a rarity and should be, but he definitely had anger issues, and she found out he liked bugs. So for her first visit, she took him bug books and they totally bonded. And as she was involved on the case, he liked uniforms. She knew he needed something disciplined. She got him involved in the Boy Scouts. And I had forgotten over time that she was the one who got him involved in the Boy Scouts. And she was a real pain in the butt as a Casa and would ask for 1 million court orders. And the social workers hated her. And the one order I would always make, no matter where he was moved to and how far away, was that DCFS was ordered to ensure he was transported to his Boy Scout meetings. And at some point, a Boy Scout mom got interested and the Casa figured out how to get her approved for transporting him to the meetings, and then got her approved for visits, and then got her approved for placement. And eventually he ended up placed in her home. After a couple of years, she moved up to Alameda County. Her family stayed here and he went back into foster care. And when he was about 16, he was able to move in with them in Alameda County. My birthday, when he was turning 17 or so, his Casa and her husband and my husband and I all trekked up to Alameda County for his Eagle Badge ceremony. And they have the USS Hornet Aircraft Carrier Museum, which is open to the public, and their chapel's open to the public on Sundays for services. And it had those horrible, like 3 metal chairs from airports linked together. And his Eagle Scout project was making 8 gorgeous wooden pews that he enlisted his foster father to help with a lot. So his Eagle Scout ceremony was on the USS Hornet Aircraft Carrier Museum. And when came time to have his Eagle Scout badge put on, it wasn't some other Eagle Scout or some Scoutmaster who put on his Eagle badge. It was, gosh, I get choked up. It was his Casa, and his Casa went up and was the one who put his Eagle Scout badge on him, and who really was, and at that point, this kid who had been in and out of group homes had been in a placement for a couple of years and had been holding down a job for over a year. Ended up in the Sea Scouts eventually as well. And for all of his 6-month non-minor dependent review hearings, he would come down to Los Angeles and his Casa would go to court with him still for his court hearings until he was 21. So these are kind of extreme stories, and some of you are going to have stories like this. Some of you are going to have more simple issues to work on, but you are the people who are going to be changing lives of kids one kid at a time. And I just really want to thank you for your commitment. And now all of your friends and family have heard why from time to time you might not be available. You might have something that they ask you to do and you know what, I'm meeting with my Casa kid today. Today I'm taking my Casa kid to this interview that he or she has, or they. So I hope they understand the commitment you've made. One of my concerns during the pandemic has been everyone is stuck at home and looking for something to be involved in. Casa has a real tradition of people staying with this program for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And I really hope that you continue to think of this as a long-term commitment, not just that pandemic involvement and the pandemic's over and it's time to move back on with your life. So on that note, all of the Casa staff are gonna turn off their video monitors, and all of the Casas who are being sworn in, you're going to see in the chat screen the oath that you're going to be doing with me. And I'm going to be asking you to all unmute yourselves because we're all going to do the swearing in together. And for your benefit, I put on my robe to make it really official. So please raise your right hand, all of the Casas who are being sworn in.
Right hand.
And if you want to unmute and repeat after me. When I say I state your name, you're going to say I and you're going to state your name. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I,
Kirsty Isaac,
Do hereby swear, or if you're more comfortable, affirm,
do hereby
do
swear
hereby swear
that I will truly and faithfully
that I would
I will
truly
truly and faithfully
perform the duties
perform the
duties
court-appointed special advocate
of a
of
court-appointed
special advocate
in all cases to which I am appointed.
in all cases to which I am appointed.
I will do so according to law,
that I will do so according to law
the policies of Casa of Los Angeles,
and the policies of Casa of Los Angeles,
that I will always act in the best interest
that I will always act in the best
interest
of the child or children for whom I am appointed.
of the child or children whom I am appointed.
Mazel tov. And I have to do my roll. Okay, there you go. Congratulations, but we are not done. I'm so excited. We have like 30 something new Casas, but before we do the next part, there's one other thing we have to deal with. As court-appointed volunteers, you will have access to dependency court legal files and proceedings. As you know, these files and dependency court proceedings are confidential. You are charged with the responsibility of upholding the confidentiality of these cases. You are not to discuss these cases nor reveal the identity of these children with any persons other than those individuals who are rightly involved in the case. This would include those court personnel, social workers, family members of the child, not yours, attorneys, or other professionals assigned to the case. So I'm gonna have you raise your right hand again, and magically in the chat might appear what you're gonna repeat after me. Otherwise, I will break it up more slowly to be careful, although I see some of you have it in your hand and paper. You can unmute or mute, up to you. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear
To uphold the confidentiality
to uphold the confidentiality
information contained in legal files
of the information contained in the legal files
all other case information
and all other case information
comes to my attention
comes to my attention
during the course of my work
during the course of my work
as a court-appointed special advocate.
as a court-appointed
advocate.
Now it's really real. Congratulations again. This is the point, and I'm gonna have you all mute again. This is the point where if we were here live and in person, I would call your name, you'd come up, I'd hand you a certificate, we'd take a photo, then your family would come up, we'd take a photo with all of them. The last time we did this in person, to give you a sense of when that was, we were not shaking hands, we were doing elbow bumps, we were taking pictures but standing a little further away. So needless to say, ooh, I forgot about my Zoom link. So needless to say, what we're going to do is I am going to call each of your names for you to have your virtual chance in the spotlight. And when I call your name, feel free to either, and they're also going to spotlight you when I call your name. So you're going to be the main one on the screen. When I call your name, feel free to either tell us how you found out about Casa or tell us what you do for a living. I find that really useful when it turns out you have people who are former educators and you all suddenly know you've got this colleague who's a former educator or in the entertainment industry or whatever. So how you found out about Casa or what you do for a living. And then also, if you have any friends or family who are watching on the live stream. So we are going to start, and remember to unmute when I call you. We are going to start with Lauren Blachawk.
Hi.
Hi.
I just start going? Yeah. A friend told me about Casa. I was expressing how I wanted to start volunteering again. My schedule is pretty flexible working from home. So even before pandemic, I worked from home, and I really wanted to commit to a long-term volunteer rather than just, those usually short-term fundraising things. And when I found Casa, I fell in love with all the ways that we can potentially help children. I just think it's incredible, and I'm very excited to be a part of it.
And anyone watching?
Oh, anyone watching? Yeah, my mom. Sorry, my mom's watching.
Hi, Mom. Is Mom local?
I'm not sure.
And boyfriend. Mom local or not local?
Yeah, she lives in Santa Clarita, but we're from Wisconsin originally.
Wisconsin, cheese.
Yeah.
Okay. Boyfriend, put a ring on it. Okay, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Isla Blair.
It's Isela.
Isela.
Yep. I met a woman who was a server at a restaurant when the pandemic had started to somewhat get a little bit better. And she told me about Casa, and I'm also a publicist. I have 3 children. So this felt like a good fit to be able to volunteer and give back to kids in a way that worked for my lifestyle at this point in time. And I think I have some people watching. I'm not super sure. I sent out the text. So I hope somebody's watching.
Hopefully they're watching. Now they're saying, oh my gosh, why didn't I do it with her? I'm going to sign up next.
I hope so.
Great. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And they even gave me the pronunciation. And my last name is Zeidler, and no one ever gets it right. They even gave me the pronunciation of your name, and I got it wrong. It's because my parents go to Italy a lot, and I was thinking Itala and went with Isla instead of Isela.
That's
Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Karen Capodanno.
Hi, my name's Corinne, and I am a clinical psychologist. I've worked for the County of LA for about 17 years, specializing in children's in specialized foster care. And in our teen decision-making meetings, I was always so happy to have a Casa come because I knew that they were going to do their job. So I always thought, I'm going to get tearful here, that when I retired, I was going to come back and be a Casa because I appreciated them so much. They did such great jobs for the kids.
That is the best thing ever. That's great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
There's so often the Casas feel like professionals feel like, why are they here? Why are they getting in the way? And it's so great to have a professional who realizes the value of it.
They're the best.
And do you have anyone watching?
My husband, maybe my daughter, and some friends across the country.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Missy Coffee.
Hi.
Hi.
So I learned about CASA from some friends who are CASAs in Fairfax County, Virginia. So while I was in grad school, I got to participate and learn a little bit about what they do and have always wanted to do this since I learned about this program. I do not have any family today because they are all working right now, but hopefully they'll watch it later.
It's so good there are people working. Let's be happy for them. Xander Eckhouse.
Yeah, I learned about Casa through super boring memes. I Googled, it was Google. I'm a writer and my folks are watching right now.
And of course you're a writer. You've got all the stacks of books behind you.
That's right, yes.
And where are your folks?
They're in LA too.
Hi, Mom and Dad. Thank you very much. Andrea Feiger.
Hi, I learned about Casa through one of my coworkers at Headspace, which is a meditation and mindfulness app, Louisa Cartwright. And I think she graduated from Casa LA within the past year. And I was talking to her and she got me really interested in the program.
And does she have a Casa kid or two?
Yes, she does.
There you go. Best way to talk about it. Great. Good to see you again. Thank you. Congratulations. Rachel Finn-Lohman.
Hi, I'm a graduate student and college writing instructor, and I learned about CASA from an LA Times article.
That is because our recently departed CASA executive director, for the first time I can remember in all the years I've been involved, actually did a press conference to talk about the need for CASAs. And you know what? It really made a difference. And I'm really excited about the energy of the new CASA executive director who she recruited to take her place. And it's pretty phenomenal. Where do you teach and where are you in your program?
It's been at Columbia University in New York, but I'm graduating soon and it's been on Zoom. So I've been back in LA for a while.
Congratulations.
Thank
you. Janet Hargraves.
Hi, I decided to become a CASA whilst I was doing training hours as a resource parent. I met somebody who was a CASA and felt that that would be a better fit for me. I could do more, but I had to wait a good few years to make sure that my placement was out of the system and placed in a permanent home. And just so, we could take her back if we needed to. And that has happened. And so I trained as a CASA. And I have family watching from England, I think, and friends in Los Angeles.
Phenomenal. What time is it in England? I don't want to think.
It's 9:10, between 9 and 10 p.m.
There you go. Congratulations. Thank you. And it's great that you were doing the foster parenting before that. Phenomenal.
Thank you.
Jeffrey Hill.
Hello, I'm a graduate student at UCLA, and I found out about CASA through a friend who's really involved in the dependency system, actually over in New Hampshire. So she got me plugged in, and I'm just excited to get to work. I don't have anyone watching right now, but hopefully they'll be able to watch it later.
I like that. Ready to get to work. That's great. May Wong.
Hi, my name is May. I work in corporate finance. So I first heard about CASA, I think through an NPR radio ad, and then also through a former classmate of mine, a friend. And the reason why I wanted to get involved is because both my husband and I want to eventually become foster parents, but we're not quite ready yet. And so we still wanted to get involved with foster kids. I don't have anyone watching today, but my husband is also getting sworn in today. So he's on the call.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Not ready to have the kids yet. Someone once told me, you know what? You just have the kids, your life changes. Don't try to get your life ready to have kids. Thank you. Congratulations. Michelle Irvine.
Hello. A very dear friend of mine is an attorney for CASA in San Diego County. So she was the one who introduced me to the program.
That's great. They have a wonderful program there. There's
Yeah,
a
she's
retired-
very involved.
There's a retired judge there who is just phenomenal,
Mm.
and Carol Isaacoff, and just totally involved in that program. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christy Isaac.
Hi. I found out about Casa from two of my girlfriends who had done it previously, and I always thought once my kids were up and out, I always looked forward to it. And so that time has come, and here I am, and I believe my husband is watching.
Hi, hubby. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So the next person I know knows very little about Casa because she's the Casa board chair, Laurie Kozak.
Thank you. So glad to be here. Yes, I got involved with Casa 20 years ago. I was a Casa volunteer, and I'm an attorney by trade, and found that it was a lot when I started to have my own kids. So after my cases closed, I stayed a Casa supporter and eventually joined the board. But I'm so happy to be back here as a Casa volunteer again, and to be working with you and the rest of everybody graduating today. So thank you so much.
And I'm not sure what the training was like 20 years ago, but the training right now is pretty awesome.
Fantastic. Yes, it was great then. It's heading better now. So yes.
There's a lot of introspection in the current training that really gets you to know who you are before then figuring out how to work with that foster kid.
Absolutely.
Very
valuable.
Thank you for all of your volunteering. Jenny Leong.
Hello. I found out about Casa through a friend. I work with the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, so I wanted to get more deeply involved with youth. And my husband and parents-in-law are watching right now. Thanks.
That is great volunteer background. Thank you very much. Nadia Loney.
Hello, everyone. I learned about Casa actually in Tampa. Over there, it's called Guardian Ad Litem, and I was more involved in like the charitable side of the program out there. So once we moved to California, I wanted to really get involved in the program. I am an attorney. I don't practice anymore. I do interior design now. So I have a lot more freedom with my schedule and my time. And no one is watching right now, but I'm sure they'll watch later.
Clearly, you're going to do a lot of successful interior design with the painting and bookcase in the background. Thank you. Anna Like.
Hello. My name's Anna. I learned about Casa. I wanted to be a foster mom, so I feel like I kind of put that energy out in the universe, and Casa came back to me. So it's a good starting process. I'm a doula. I'm a birth and postpartum doula. And I have Mama Barbie watching from New England and boyfriend Braden watching from Los Angeles.
Wonderful. Congratulations. I'm hearing this theme of people who, it's foster parent or Casa. I'm doing Casa right now.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank
and doula, that's a great job too. Wow. You know, that is skyrocketed in terms of in the past few years. It's pretty amazing. Congratulations, Alexander Matheny.
Hello. So you all met my wife earlier, Mei Huang. We're going through the program together and graduating together. But yeah, Mei found out about it first, and we checked out an info session. And after attending the info session, it was not an option not to get involved at that point. And really excited to help out. And I work for a commercial real estate investment firm.
You know, we have a lot of spouses who take cases together now, best friends who take cases together. The first spouses I can remember, they got assigned to the case together, and the person who assigned them together got yelled at because they were their own person. After they were so successful and eventually were the Casas of the year together, we have had a lot of spouse teams and best friend teams. And with them, with Sue and Steve Forstead, I was on their first case. I was a lawyer on their first case. And one was great with interacting with the kids. One was great at figuring out placements. So the nice thing is, as a two-person team, if you are assigned together, is you get to play off of each other's strengths. Great opportunity. Thank you. Kathy Mojibi.
Hi, my name is Kathy. I'm a lawyer by trade. I work for a fashion company, and I was looking for an opportunity to become more involved, more volunteerism in my life. And I found Casa, and I asked my friends if they knew any Casas, and I was surprised. They put me in touch with people, and I talked to them, and their experience was so positive and that it made me want to sign up right away. And Judge Zeitler, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for being here. It gives me hope for our county to see judges like you so caring and giving so much of your time. I appreciate it.
I am very lucky to have the best job in the world. So thank you. And which fashion label?
Many labels. We make handbags for many labels.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next up, we have one of our first 3 of our Casa interns graduating today, Erica Moreno.
Hello and thank you. So I heard about Casa through my school. I was looking for a place to do my intern, so they give us the opportunity to choose for our last year. So I read about Casa, I became really interested, and I interviewed and they accepted me. So I was really happy, and I'm really excited to be here this year.
That's great. And where did you go to school?
Oh, I go to Cal State Dominguez Hills, and I'm doing my master in social work.
Great school in Carson.
Yes.
If you're ever down there live and in person, M&M Soul Food right across the street, really good. Congratulations. Thank you for all of your double volunteering. Christy Moya.
Hi, my name is Christy, and I am currently retired from a 20-year career in the hospitality industry. My husband's an attorney and my daughter is a senior in college, so I found that I have a lot of time on my hands. I've been volunteering at a food bank, but I have a friend that lives in San Diego that's a Casa volunteer, so she's the one that told me about this program. And it just so happened to intersect at a time when my younger brother was going through a contentious divorce, and he has 3 toddlers and had to get a restraining order and got full physical and legal custody of the children. But he doesn't even own a computer. He's very old school. So I've kind of had to step in and make sure that the kids are getting all of the resources and support they need, both from a therapy standpoint and educational standpoint, you know, doctor's visits, all of that. So it all just kind of came together at the right time. And I realized that Casa was really my calling. So I'm just honored and excited to be here.
It's almost like you've already had 3 foster kids.
Exactly. So true.
Everyone remember hospitality industry. If you have a Casa kid who's looking for a job and career path, there's one that people don't think of enough.
Yes.
Laura Olympia.
Hi, I was an elementary school teacher in London and moved here 10 years ago and started working in a school in Santa Monica. And that's when I first heard about a Casa. But then I have my own children who are 6 and 3 and who are watching in the other room right now. And now just feels like the right time. I've also got family watching in the UK right now too.
Was it a school in Santa Monica that they've used from time to time for Casa trainings?
Yes. Yes.
I've been there.
Uh-huh.
Great. Wow. You know, you're from England. You know, I know.
Well, I'm from Wales, actually.
I was about to say, I knew this other person from England. I was going to see if you knew her. She just became a Casa.
Oh.
Like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, Janet. I know her now.
I love Wales. Oh my gosh. I had the best time in Wales. Okay. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Our next, and hi everyone in the UK. Our next Casa intern, Brianna Oxford.
Hi, I'm Brianna. I first heard about Casa maybe 10 years ago from my cousin, and then I'm actually currently a grad student getting my master's in social work, and my field placement is at Casa. So.
And where are you in an MSW program?
I'm just starting my first year.
Where? What school?
Oh, CSUN.
And is it the CalSWIC program?
Mm-hmm.
I will see you in 2 years when I come to my senior lecture to Luis Curiel's class. It's
See
a
you
phenomenal
then.
program. So the CalSWIC program, for anyone who's interested, you go through your master's in social work. Your master's is free. You have to commit to however many years it takes to get your master's, whether it's 2 or 3 years, you commit to then do that number of years working for an agency like DCFS or some other agency as your way of paying back for that master's degree. It's a phenomenal program. Congratulations. Go CSUN, go Matadors, class of 80 something. Rungi Pereira.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I found out about Casa from one of my colleagues, and I looked into it, and the more I found out what a great experience and a difference it makes in a child's life, I decided I absolutely want to be a part of it. I'm an insurance defense attorney, and I'm hoping that I have family and friends watching right now.
Hi, all your family and friends. Everyone, insurance defense attorney. That's, forget about the foster kids. Now you have one for you. Laurie Peterson.
Am I unmuted now? Yes. I have a 25-year-old son, and his partner live on a farm in the San Joaquin Valley. And I found out about Casa when he was in grammar school from one of the other mothers. But I took a roundabout way. Because of him, I retired from professional sports production. I founded 2 free preschools in the inner city. Now that those are going, it's been 13 years, I thought it was time to come back and find out about Casa and do that. So that is how I got here, and it's wonderful.
Wow, she has organizational skills. Remember that. Board chair.
She does.
She has organizational skills. Congratulations. Thanks. Kimmy Proffer.
Hi. The program that you were just describing, I did at UCLA getting my master's. So I worked for DCFS, for the CSW, for 2 years, or more than 2 years. And then I've been raising my kids since then. So they're 16 and almost 15. So I have some free time now.
That is great. And nobody asked her about my reputation as a judge with social workers, please. Congratulations. Great switch. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chuck Kwan Jr.
Good afternoon. First off, thank you, Judge, for being with us. It's really quite special that you swore us in, and I appreciate your time in doing so. And I also want to acknowledge Emily. I thought she did a fantastic job taking us through the training course. And I'd also like to, acknowledge my fellow classmates from whom I really learned a lot from, and that was really a bigger part of the learning experience than I actually expected. So I am a retired partner in a quantitative investment management firm. I've been retired now for 849 days. And now I get to spend my time how I want. And so I volunteer for a lot of organizations. So I guess I'm a professional volunteer of sorts. How I found out about Casa was, I'll make a long story short. Growing up, I had a sister who struggled with mental illness. And last October, I learned that she had 2 sons that I had heretofore not known about. And I deeply regret not being there for them as they were growing up in the foster system in Los Angeles. And I relayed that story to a close friend of mine while we were having dinner in Houston. And he said, well, I volunteer for an organization called Casa. You ought to check it out. And so when I returned from Houston, I immediately checked it out and I signed up. And here I am. I have 3 sons who I lost influence over, so I don't know if they're watching, but they were extended invitations. I'm sure they'll watch later. And that's about it.
That's great. Great story. And you're recognizing of Emily. I have to say, I spoke to Emily's Casa class when Emily went through the Casa training, because one of the things that's been phenomenal in the last few years is that most of the staff members have gone through the Casa training and end up with a Casa child on their caseload as part of their work. So the trainers, Emily, Kayla, Taina, what's his name, who's got the new baby. They really are pretty phenomenal. Saad Rutherford Elahian.
Hi, I'm also a grad student right now, and I found out about Casa through the internship. I found out about the internship from my school, so it was all just a great opportunity, and I'm just really happy to be part of it all.
So how long is this Casa internship?
Well, I'm a graduate student in public policy, so I think for me it's a little bit different than the social worker graduate students. For me, it's only for the summer, but I think for others, it might be a full year. I'm not exactly sure their timeline.
Great. And where do you go to school?
UCLA.
Not a bad school, you know, it's okay. My husband has 2 degrees from there. So that was our third Casa intern. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ronald Scott.
Hello. I am a recently retired human resources professional, 40 years in human resources, and Casa has been on my bucket list for the last couple of years. I've been involved in a number of youth organizations, and this is kind of turning into the pinnacle for me. So I am looking forward to being involved and making a difference. I've got my wife on the line who's working full-time, and my daughter who will be a full-time student in Tacoma soon.
Great, you got one off to college. Aren't you lucky? Congratulations. Hi to them, and I'm glad this is something that's on someone's bucket list. Anita Sherman.
Yes. So my name is Anita, and I found out about Casa from my terrific sister-in-law who is in Arizona. She could not stop talking about it. She has been volunteering for them, and I became very interested in it at that point. So that's how I got introduced. I also want to say the training has been phenomenal. Taina has done a great job, and to get to know everyone in the group has been really quite a pleasure. I have worked for a language and cross-cultural company for over 30 years, international, and I'm from Denmark originally, and I know that Denmark will be watching, or my family part of that, as well as my local American family, of course.
Love Denmark. Oh my gosh. We have a friend whose husband runs the opera house, and we got to do a tour and go to the Royal Box. But what's more amazing is we went to the Itsy Bitsy Jewish Museum there that they got a very well-known architect to design. It's like the size of my chambers, and what they did was amazing. So, congratulations. Hi, Denmark.
Thank you.
Get me an Ebel's giver, even though it's not Christmas. Laura Simpson.
Hi there. I was a teacher for a really long time and found out about Casa as another way of working with children that can be very intense, but can be really meaningful. So I thought it'd be maybe a good match. And I have my husband and my son watching from Canada right now. And I'm so happy they're both here because I really wanted them to meet both you and Taina, because you all are just wonderful, and all my classmates. So thank you.
And what did you teach?
I taught upper elementary, and then I also taught tech, computers, robotics with kids for about 15 years.
Oh my gosh, robotics is so cool. I was on the Redondo school board, and the robotics team, the continuation school had a robotics team, and that changed kids' lives.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha Thompson.
Hi, my name's Natasha Thompson. I learned about Casa while working in STRTP. When one of the visitors came in, I asked her what her role was, and she said a Casa worker. And then one day I took one of the children to the LA courthouse, and downstairs they have the Casa office. So I kind of just looked into it, and I thought that's something I would like to do. Right now I'm currently a TBS specialist, so I work with kids with behavior problems, and my husband is watching.
I am just so amazed at someone who is doing this full-time as a job and wants as their volunteer thing to continue to be doing this. That's awesome. Thank you. Amanda Waberski.
Hi there, I'm Amanda.
I am in HCM technology sales. I heard about Casa because earlier this year I realized I had a lot of free time. So I decided to put that free time to giving back to society. And so did some research, and Casa was the program that really stood out to me on making a difference in our immediate culture.
That's, someone wrote that down. I hope someone wrote that down. Thank you. That's great. That's phenomenal. Thank you. Congratulations. Go do it. And last but not least, if I actually did my thumb right, and I usually miss someone, hopefully I didn't, Karen Weiss.
Hi, everyone. My name's Karen. And, you know, many, many years ago, I was at jury duty and I saw a sign for Casa, and I just sort of filed that away. And when the time was right, I decided to do it, which is now. And I'm very excited about it. And I also have friends that have done it, and I'm looking forward to it.
You know, jury duty, it's a shame we don't have as many people right now physically going for jury duty, because we used to get a lot of people who would read about the ways you could donate your $5 jury fee, and Casa, they showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. Thank you. And of course, I did miss someone. Brenda Perez Rodriguez.
It's okay. Hello, everyone, and thank you, Your Honor. If you hear my dog in the background, I apologize. The pool man is here, and my dog may go a little crazy. So I learned about Casa when I was working in children's court representing parents through Ladle. And I was always impressed with how much attention the judges placed on the Casas and on the Casa reports. And I was always just very impressed with that. I'm an insurance defense attorney now, but my heart has always been in children's court. And I thought, how can I get back there but still keep my day job? And this is the perfect opportunity. I also agree with everything that Chuck said about our instructor, Emily, and also about our fellow students. Like, I also learned a lot from everyone. My husband is watching, and my close friends are watching, one of whom is a foster mother in the state of Washington. So thank you, everyone.
Phenomenal. And, you know, I saw the name and I was like, I know that name. You know, now you're actually doing a law job where you're getting paid real money instead of ladle money. And you can, you know, there are a lot of ways you can contribute back.
Yes, exactly.
Congratulations.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all of you. And thank you all so much for this incredible commitment. It's such an incredible, diverse range of people. You are all just awesome. And anytime that you are physically in the courthouse, once we are there again, feel free to come to my courtroom. There's a roster in the lobby of which courtroom is whom. Stop by anytime. I have cases still to do, so I will be running out. Congratulations. Thank you again to the Casa staff. You all make this happen, and it's really amazing. And for the new volunteers, make sure that you are remembering your role and not allowing your own personal stuff to get in the way of how you're assessing the needs of that foster child. Thank you all very much. Have a good one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay. So as I mentioned, we're going to have just a few people chat and congratulate you, and then you'll be able to get into those breakout rooms with your supervisors. So next up, we have our CEO, Charity Chandler-Cole.
Hello, everyone. And wow, what an amazing group of Casas. I am so excited for this group and just hearing the diversity from the industries you come from and what you do, and just your passion for wanting to support our kids. So thank you and congratulations. At Casa LA, our Casa volunteers are literally the backbone of our organization, and we cannot do the work we do without you. The work our Casas do goes beyond advocating on their behalf in court and in schools and other settings. You have the ability to provide experiences that affirm their worth and value in this world. You have the ability to empower them to be the best versions of themselves, despite what the world, statistics, and others have told and shown them they are capable of. Your role as a consistent advocate and even friend in their life is so important, and I'm so grateful that you have decided to embark on this new and very rewarding chapter of your life. I do want to encourage you all through this experience to always seek out new knowledge and information and to understand the cultural context and histories of the youth you interact with. I ask that you be intentional about knowing and learning about their backgrounds, the communities they come from, the historical, racial, and societal barriers, burdens, and circumstances they and their families may have endured that has brought them to this moment in time, so that you can make healthy and sound decisions and recommendations and build relationships that are not rooted in bias or made based off of personal judgments and assumptions, well-intentioned or not, but are birthed out of equity, deep love, and care with the goal of making them whole. Thank you so much again for stepping up to the plate to advocate and show up for our children. Congratulations for completing your training. I know it was intense and amazing, and I look forward to working with all of you.
Thanks, Charity. Yeah, Charity just did it in the last batch of training, so knows the work that you've put in, and we're very appreciative. And next up, we'll go to Angela Daltry. She is from our recruitment and outreach.
Congratulations, everybody. We are so thankful that you are here. There's a theme, though. I was listening to everyone talk about how they heard of Casa, and Corinne started it off, and she said, you know, the seed was planted a while back. And then Karen finished it off and said the seed was planted in jury duty. I want to say plant some seeds, you guys. Plant some seeds, because we definitely need more Casa volunteers here in Los Angeles, actually across the world. So you guys are amazing. Congratulations. I'm so glad you've had this experience. I know you'll be phenomenal in your new roles. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And again, don't forget to plant those seeds. Bring other people in. And thank you to the husband and wife team. We appreciate you too for just coming together and doing it together. So plant those seeds, and we look forward to talking with you all later. If you need anyone to send our way and you need some information, I'll put my information in the chat box. But congratulations and welcome to Casa of Los Angeles.
Thanks, Angela. And next we have Marie Carpenter, our Director of Development. Marie, there?
Yes, hi everyone. Congratulations as well. Thank you. I'm so grateful for you all, and it's really nice to meet you all. So my name is Marie Carpenter. My team and I, we manage our fundraising and marketing efforts because Casa LA is a nonprofit organization. So we receive the majority of our funding from individuals, foundations, businesses, and all donations are to support and sustain our work here together, and also so we can grow and serve more children in the system, because we very much need to do that. And before I tell you all about our fundraising efforts and events, I just want to say that we know it is extra special when a Casa volunteer goes above and beyond your advocacy work, which is, first and foremost, the number one priority for you. So, you're already giving so much as a Casa volunteer, so we are grateful for you. One of the things I ask of volunteers is that, you're also an advocate for us as an organization. So, when you're out there in the community or in your neighborhood, that you keep an eye out for any funding opportunities that you think that we may qualify for. So many companies have matching gift programs where they can match your donation dollars. Some companies even match your volunteer hours. So if you don't know about that, ask your employer if they have a program like that. Some companies also sponsor events, but they need maybe someone within the company to make the introduction. Or if you know a foundation who you can help us have an introduction to as well to apply for a grant. So that's what I ask you to do. And one of the easier ways to support us is through, if you shop on Amazon, or if you shop at Ralph's, you can connect your Ralph's card, where we get a percentage of proceeds from your shopping or shopping spree at Amazon or Ralph's. And then for our events. So we have a number of events throughout the year, and as a Casa, you'll be informed of them throughout the year. Right now, we are in the middle of our Justice Jog 5K, 10K, and it starts on September 1st to the 25th. And notice it's a jog. It's not like you have to run. You can do anything you like because it's a virtual one this year. We started it virtual last year, which went really well. This year, it's still virtual. And you can complete your 5K any way you like. So you can go hiking, running, biking, treadmilling to finish those miles. As long as you sign up with us, you get your little kit in the mail with a t-shirt and a medal. So it's fun for family and friends to do that together. And it's also really a great way to introduce your friends and family to this great organization that you're now part of, you know. So if you need info on that, I'll please reach out, or I'll send an email to you after graduation. And then the one more thing is that we're active on all the social media platforms, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. So if you post a photo from today's graduation, please tag us and follow us so you can get all the latest news. And I'll put all of our handles in the chat as well. And thank you again for your time and for your support. Welcome.
Thanks, Marie. Okay, and then we'll pass over to Gabriel, who is our Director of Volunteer Services.
Congratulations, everyone. I love that Marie just coined a new verb, treadmilling. I'll be treadmilling this weekend. I don't know, I think that's so funny what I do. You guys really, I mean, everyone has said how amazing this group is, but really, seriously, because I've seen all the groups and this is really impressive. You guys are just in for the best, hardest thing you've ever done. I started working for Casa in 2011, and before that, I was a Casa volunteer for 10 years prior to coming to Casa. Once I was at Casa, I was released from my last Casa case in June of 2014, and I received my foster parent certification in July of 2014. And I got my placement that very same day and became a foster parent. And 2 years later, I became an adoptive parent. So anyone who's thinking about that, feel free to call me and ask me any questions you like. If you can be a Casa, you can be a foster parent. And I want to say, Judge Zeidler is wonderful, and he's not here, so I'll just tell a quick little story about him. And one of my kids, my first case was in his courtroom, and he's a 14-year-old kid. And just so you know, I know you put your preferences in your profile, maybe the gender or what area you're interested in for your Casa kids. So when I started, I wanted to work with elementary school age girls. So I became a Casa, and I got a 14-year-old boy. And I thought, oh my gosh, I was raised with sisters. I don't know anything about this. It turned out I love that age group. 14-year-old boys are really amazing, if not very quiet. But my first one, he was in Judge Zeidler's courtroom, and he never really talked that much. He had been in and out of the system most of his life and was just tired of getting a new set of rules every time he moved. And he aged out at 18. And a couple of years later, I hadn't talked to him since he'd aged out, because he went on the road, he was hopping trains. And he called me out of the blue and just said, hey. And that was the first time he'd ever remembered my phone number. And I was amazed because he wasn't in the system anymore. And he was just really happy. He was riding trains. He was free. And that's really all he had wanted to be, was free. And he ended up passing away the next year. And I went to Judge Zeidler's courtroom. I didn't know Judge Zeidler very well. And I'd been in his courtroom. I knew he had thousands of kids. And I said, Judge Zeidler, I just want you to know that, I said his name, who I used to be his Casa, and he just wanted to let you know that he passed away. I don't know if you remember him. And Judge Zeidler said, oh, and he named his two sisters who had different last names than he did. And he remembered them. He remembered my kid. He remembered his sisters. And so that's the kind of people that you're going to be working with in the courthouse. There's amazing people in child welfare, and you don't often hear about the amazing people in child welfare. So I I hope you all get to work with some on that side of it. I know being a Casa and the staff there, I'm the luckiest person in the world to have the job I do. So I'm so excited to hopefully one day meet all of you in person. But thank you for doing this and congratulations.
Thanks, Lynn. And next, we will pass over to Megan Maddock, who you met in session 2 or 3, I think. Megan?
Yeah, it feels like it was so long ago,
Doesn't
but we're
it?
here at graduation. Congratulations, everyone. It's so exciting to see you all again. It's so exciting to see you, graduate, and you're going to be starting your Casa work soon. I come from a social work background. I shared with you all, I came from DCFS, and I wished I had had a Casa on each one of my cases. It would have allowed me to do the social work that I had wanted to do with children and families. And so I know you all are going to carry on that mission and do amazing, amazing work. And you have amazing people to help support you on that. So we have an incredible team of supervisors who are on the call. So after we all say our congrats and our thank yous, you'll break up into your breakout rooms, just like in training, and you'll get a chance to meet with your supervisor. They will talk to you about what it looks like to get a case, what the next steps will be, and you'll just get a chance to interact with these incredibly experienced, educated, supportive people who will be guiding you on your Casa journey. And I want to invite you all just to keep in touch with me and with Charity. We'd love to hear how you're doing on your Casa advocacy and all of the stories, from the really good things that happen to the frustrating things. Please keep in touch and let us know. And I hope to see you on another Zoom screen sometime soon, and hopefully in real life in the less distant future. But I'm gonna just call out our supervisors and highlight some of the amazing folks we have on the line, and then I'll turn it back to Emily. But our supervisors here today, Amy, Arlene, Farah, Jessica, John Tay, Katie, Leslie, Maggie, and Melissa. So a full house of pretty cool people. So thank you again. I'm really excited to see you all take this next step, and congratulations.
Thanks, Megan. So that just leaves me to kind of tie things up before you jump into those breakout rooms. So again, thank you everyone so very much for all of your efforts throughout the training. It's kind of bittersweet for us because we have to say goodbye, but then we know that you're going on to do wonderful things. So definitely stay connected with each other. You're going to be a great support system for each other, and I've seen some wonderful relationships develop in the training. So I do hope you maintain those. And to our family and friends on YouTube, thank you all so much for your support today. We had up to 40 people viewing during the swearing in, so wonderful to see that kind of support, and hopefully those 40 people will sign up. Maybe not the ones in the UK though, sorry. We can't do that. Okay, so I will hand over to Jeremy, and he will close the stream or end the stream.
Thank you so much, Emily. And thank you everybody for being here, all the family and friends who are watching on the live stream, and congratulations to all of our graduates. I am now going to end the live stream. So goodbye, family and friends. We appreciate you being here, but please stick around.